everyone, it's Caitlin. Today, I'm going to be talking about some of my Disney pins in my collection. I've been collecting pins since my first trip to Disney. I believe this Ariel pin was one of my first pins that I got from my first trip to Disney World when I was 5. This Tinkerbell Mini pin that I got was from my first trip to Disneyland, which was when I was 7. I've been collecting Disney pins ever since I was like 5, so I have a lot of them. One time when I went to Disneyland like years later, I was walking around in Cars Land and this boy came up to me and he was like, "Oh, do you want to trade?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." I've never traded with anyone who wasn't a Disney cast member before. So I asked him which pen he wanted and he pointed to my Pegasus pen, which my Pegasus pen is from 1997, which makes it the rarest pen in my collection. And it's one of my favorites as well. So I was like, "Oh, sorry. No, I'm not gonna trade that with you." And then I asked him if he wanted any other pins from my many pins that I have on my lanyard, and he was like, "No." Another time when I went to Disney World, there were like 2 separate occasions on the same trip when like these kids asked if I would trade with them. So one time we were in, I think both the kids, it was like the same day, and I was in Epcot. And these 2 brothers come up to me and one asks for my Hades pen and the other asks for the Bolt pen. Well, I just got my Hades pen that day, so I was like, "Well, you can go over to that kiosk." We were like near Mexico, so I pointed over to like a gift shop in Mexico and I was like, "Oh, they sell pins there. So I think I just saw it at that gift shop, so you can go over there and buy the Hades pen." The other boy wanted my Bolt pen. And that pen, I don't think they make that pen anymore, or at that time they didn't make it. They did make a Bolt pen, which had Penny and Bolt, like together, but I didn't want to trade my Bolt pen that I already had because I like Bolt and he's cool. So I told that boy about the Penny and Bolt pen, so then if he wanted, he could go purchase that pen for himself. The other time that trip, there was a girl and she also came up and was like, "Oh, I want the Bolt pen," and I like told her the same thing. So it's been really interesting those few times that I have actually had people come up to me and ask if I would be interested in trading with them, which I'm always interested in trading, but I'm just a little, I don't know, I want to make sure that it's going to be like a good trade, obviously. Now, I do really enjoy trading. I always want to trade with the cast members, and whenever there would be a cast member with pins or a pin board, I would always enjoy going to look at that and just seeing what kind of pins they have, because obviously I like collecting them. Before everything got shut down, cast members would have like lanyards or like just some different ways of displaying pins, whether that's on them or on a pin board nearby them. Now, the nice thing was, the cast members have to trade with you. So if the cast member has a pin with them that is like a really good rare pin, and you have this like little mystery pack pin that you just bought, like they have to trade you for that. So you can get some pretty good deals, honestly, out of pin trading with a cast member. So I would definitely recommend pin trading in that way. Now, since the virus has shut everything down and changed our world, pin trading has also changed. You used to just be able to grab a pin off of a pin board, like whichever pin you would want, but now it's a little different. Now you have to tell the cast member, "Hello, I would like pin number 8. And then they will then give you pin 8 and you give the cast member one of your pins. Well, you put your pin in a box, so then the cast member can sanitize and clean it, and the cast member will tell you to keep the back of your pin, so then that way you like can put your pin in somewhere and it won't like stab you." So now at least they're still doing it. They still are having pin trading, which is really nice. It's just a little modified for the current world we're living in. I used to wear a lanyard with like all of my pins on it, But eventually I started to get so many pins that went on my lanyard, like the pins would be going like up to here. So it was kind of uncomfortable to wear, especially when you're at the parks like all day. And I also always worried about losing a pin because I didn't know how secure it would be on certain rides. Like if you're riding the wildest ride in the wilderness, you never know. You might lose a pin, which would be very sad. At least I would be very sad about that. So then I came up with an idea on how I could best display my pins so I could still always see them and enjoy them and not just be like, oh, they're like sitting in a box. So I came up with an idea to make a Mickey shaped pin board, which I think turned out pretty cute. So I had my dad create like a stencil of like a giant like Mickey silhouette head, you know, the iconic shape. And so he cut out the Mickey head out of wood, and then we used the same stencil to then like cut out like foam board, also in a Mickey shape, obviously. We used the foam board so in that way it would protect the pins when we put it like when we put the pins like on the board, so in that way they were protected and safe. Then we used spray glue to glue the foam and the wood together, and then I was like, oh, it's just kind of like boring looking. So I went on to Amazon, because you can find everything on Amazon, and I found a really cute fabric. The fabric was like the color scheme of my room, and it has Mickey and Pluto on it. Pluto is my favorite character of the Fab Five. He's a dog, and I like dogs, so obviously. And my grandma helped me put the fabric, she helped me cut out the fabric, then we put the fabric on Mickey, and then it was done. And then I just put all my pins on there, and then I got even more pins, and there's a lot. So here is my pin board. You can see over here, you can get a good view of the cloth I used. I just really like the pattern. I think it's really cute. So here's a look at all of my pins that I have. I have them kind of organized by either like character or park. So over here is like my Hollywood Studios collection. We have a Fantasmic pin because that's my favorite show at Disney. We have this like Hollywood Mickey, which moves, which I think is a pretty cool one. We have another Hollywood Mike Wazowski. Now I would like to say not all of these are like official trading Disney pins. Like this is a pin that my friend got for me because I love Marvel. Baby Yoda one, my parents just got me, but that's also not an official trading one. Let's see, oh yes, we have the Skyliner to bridge the gap from Epcot to Hollywood, obviously. Then here's my Epcot pins. I have Figment, and here's the 2012 Food and Wine Epcot pin. That one also moves. Here's a Stitch Space Mountain that moves. Now we're moving into the Magic Kingdom, so you can see all the Magic Kingdom pins, my Splash Mountain pin. This one this one's one of my newer ones from my most recent trip. I traded for that one. Here's some of my Easter pins that I have. They also move, so I can't really move that one, but that's a cute one from Disneyland. See, this is my only Animal Kingdom one I have. This is my little balloon pin. Here's my Disneyland pins that I have. I have a Donald and Daisy. And this is from when World of Color first opened. So for my first trip to Disneyland, actually. That's that one. I have kind of also grouped with like so like Mickey and Friends are all over here. So like here's little Count Mickey. Here's my little Tinkerbell mini. This one I traded with for my newest trip. That one I believe is from Hong Kong. I believe is where this Duffy pin is from. I don't remember exactly, but that's where I believe it's from. So that's the beauty with trading, is you can get pins from all over the world. Here's some of my Pluto pins. my dogs. I'm trying to work on this collection. So I have Pluto and Lady from this collection. I'm only collecting the dog ones, but, well, as of right now. My princess pins. I really like my Rapunzel pin. I want to point out this one because I know it's hard to see. Blue on blue, I know. We have Mulan. Oh, that Pluto pin, how did I forget? Ah, there's my Pegasus pin right here. This is the one from 1997. That's another non-trading Disney pin. But yeah. So here's a final look at all my pins. As you can see, I have a very large collection of Disney pins, and I know there are other Disney fans out there who have a much larger collection of pins than I do. Like, mine's small compared to them. I think Disney pins are a great souvenir. They help you remember your trip and the great times that you had on them. And they also are good because I know personally I really like collecting things. So if you're someone who likes collecting things, they're a great small souvenir that's Disney themed that you can collect. Do you collect any Disney pins? What's the rarest pin you own? Do you collect any other Disney souvenirs? As always, thank you for watching my video, and this was Caitlin. Bye!